Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is my pleasure to be among you all. I am going to give my presentation on the topic relapse prevention, a tool for controlling opiate abuse in Pakistan. I will begin my presentation with the background and situation analysis of drug addiction in Pakistan through a short video. Then I will tell you about the relapse, factors of relapse that are contributing in the increases in relapse in Pakistan. Then I will let you know two possible solutions that we can use to decrease the relapse rate, although we have so many solutions. But I am going to propose two possible solutions, and I will end my presentation with a conclusion. According to the report of UNODC, United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime 2008, Pakistan shares a border of 2,640 kilometers with Afghanistan. Because of this border, which is porous, Pakistan is in a critical position and vulnerable to drug addiction and drug abuse. According to the report of UNODC 2008, there are 500 chronic heroin users in Pakistan. According to the National Assessment Report of Pakistan, there are 628,000 opiate users, in which 77% are the heroin users. Moreover, the UNODC also mentioned in its report that there are 125,000 injecting drug users in 2006 in Pakistan. According to the article of Yaqub 2013, which got published in an International Journal of Applied Sciences, different studies have discovered that the relapse rate in Pakistan is around 90%. There could be so many reasons behind this increased relapse rate in Pakistan, but the two possible solutions are the absence of the family and community supports to the drug addict, and the second is the limited drug treatment and rehabilitation service in Pakistan. Then how these two factors are contributing to the increase in the relapse rate in Pakistan, I will let you know in my coming slides. And the next slide, I'm going to show to you a video of less than 1 minute to let you know that how much drug addiction is a serious issue in Pakistan and why we all should work together against this curse.
Drug use is on the rise in Pakistan, and it's not just heroin addicts. Pakistanis of all ages are using everything from hashish to tranquilizers to opiates, according to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime. The UNODC's Cesar Guedes says drug use is most prevalent in the 25 to 39 age group. Pakistan is at the crossroads of opium-producing Afghanistan and countries producing the chemical precursors needed to manufacture illicit drugs, which means drugs are becoming cheaper and more available. More than 4 million Pakistanis are now drug dependent. Mohammad Shahid, the Director General of the Monitoring Unit of Pakistan's Narcotics Control Division, says there is another worrying trend. There are now 430,000 regular intravenous drug users. This has led to a rapid increase in the spread of the HIV/AIDS virus.
One thing which was not mentioned in the video is that Afghanistan is well known for the poppy cultivation. It produces 80% of the world opium, and 70% of opium is produced in the adjacent provinces of Afghanistan. And from this 80% of world's opium, 45% opium transits to Pakistan to the rest of the countries. If we talk about the poppy cultivation in Pakistan, Pakistan is also being affected by the poppy cultivation. This poppy cultivation was declined from 9,441 hectares to 230 hectares in 2001. It was happened due to the efforts of the government of Pakistan and law enforcement agencies in collaboration with the international donor agencies along with the development projects. However, there was a comeback of poppy cultivation in Pakistan after 2001. It was increased up to 67,703 hectares, including first-time cultivation in Balochistan, and it was happened due to the sharp rise in the prices of opium in Afghanistan. Now let's talk about the lapse and the relapse. As I am giving a presentation on a topic, relapse prevention to control opiate abuse in Pakistan, it is important to have little information about the lapse and relapse. These two are the terms which we use in our field in drug addiction. Lapse. A person if is in a recovery process and if he goes back to use substance abuse for one time or second time, means one time or more than one time, it is called lapse, which we, from this definition, a short definition, that it is a temporary return to formal addiction. And if we talk about the relapse, it is a permanent return to the former addiction. In easiest way, we can see that one-time return to a drug addiction is a lapse, and a complete return to a drug addiction is a relapse. What are the factors that are contributing in relapse in Pakistan? Although there are many internal and external factors that are contributing to the increase in the relapse rate in Pakistan. Like in internal, we have anxiety, depression, stressor. In external, we could have family members, friends, community, places where drug is sale or available, or those people who are associated with the drug selling. According to the article Farhad Yaqub 2013 that got published in International Journal of Basic and Applied Sciences that I told you earlier, there could be three more factors that contribute in the increase in the relapse rate in Pakistan, that are stigma, unemployment, and limited treatment facilities. Stigma are imposed by the community, by the friends, by the family members, and it can cause discrimination and hurt to a person who is a substance abuse. It is important to know that drug addiction is a brain disease, but in our community, most people think that people use drugs because of person's weakness or flaw in the characteristics. No matter how much effort a drug addict in recovery process puts to keep himself away from the drug addiction, but society always called him a drug addict. So it is a stigma which is prevailing in our society. The next we have an unemployment. If we talk about the developing countries around the world, the two major issues could be poverty and unemployment. Why a person starts using drug? Maybe because of poverty or maybe unemployment. Same is the case with the recovery, a person who is in the recovery process. When he is in the recovery process, a major challenge for him is to get a good job to reintegrate into the society. As stigma is attached to that person, so sometimes it becomes difficult for him to get a good job, and there are chances to increase in the relapse rate in Pakistan. The third, we have limited drug treatment rehabilitation facilities. In Pakistan, around we have 100 drug treatment rehabilitation facilities whose capacity is to treat 30,000 drug addicts annually. So a person who is in a recovery process, and if he get relapse, sometimes it is difficult for him to get readmission to the drug treatment rehabilitation center because those centers are already tempted. So these all are the contributing factors in the increase of the relapse rate in Pakistan, which is around 90%. Now for controlling this relapse rate, I am proposing two possible solutions, or we can call it two possible strategies. Using medications for controlling opiate abuse and relapse prevention, and the second strategy is helping clients in enhances communication skills, international relations, and social networks. Let's talk about the strategy number one, medication and relapse prevention. The medications available in Pakistan are methamphetamine, benzodiazepine, codeine, and methadone is banned in Pakistan. Medication and relapse prevention can help SUD, a person who is using drugs for his early stage of abstinence. It also helps to manage his craving and withdrawal symptoms. It can work well in a combination of psychosocial intervention, and this medication strategy can help us to reduce the relapse rate. My one fellow told you about the possible use of medication, but there are few challenges, as she mentioned in a presentation, associated with the medication and relapse prevention strategies. As methadone is banned in Pakistan, most practitioner also claims that medicines reduce the motivation level of a drug addiction. A person who is using drugs to participate in self-help group, they also claims that a person who uses methadone, he becomes dependent on methadone, because if you quit using the opiate and start using the methadone, you have to use the methadone forever. They also question that is a person clean and sober, means is a person is truly in a recovery process who is using methadone as a drug to get off of a drugs. So in my opinion, using the medication strategy is a not good idea in order to decrease the relapse prevention rate in Pakistan. The next strategy we have enhancing communication skills, interpersonal relations, and social networks. Treatment providers, they could be psychiatrists, counselors, or outreach workers, can help the users in addressing their conflicts in the relationship which they can have among their parents, among their families, in between a husband or a wife. They can even decide who to include and exclude from a recovery network. Here I am talking about the external factors of friends or family members, a place where the drug is available, and those people who are associated with this business. deals with negative behavior. If you are in a recovery process, sometimes you are stigmatized by the society, so these skills can also help you to face the negative behavior of the community. Encourages and motivates for self-help group and abstinence is an ability to keep yourself away from drug addiction. It also helps you to identify and manage high early warning signs, cues, and high risk situations. I have already explained you about the labs and the relapse prevention. This strategy could help you for a relapse and relapse situation. Now the question is, will this strategy will work? This solution is of course effective. We do not need a highly trained staff for this strategy or any medicines or medical equipment. It is feasible to incorporate this strategy into existing and new drug treatment rehabilitation centers. It can reduce the cost of addiction, because if a person is in the recovery process and if he get relapse, he has to go to the drug treatment rehabilitation center to reinitiate the drug treatment and rehabilitation process. So the cost which is associated with the drug treatment process could be reduced using this strategy. This strategy is also effective to enhance the skills that can prevent SUD for treatment disappointment. And the most important thing which I would like to mention, that this strategy is found effective in the states of Rhode Island, Massachusetts, in the USA and Hong Kong. So I can see that this strategy is a tested strategy in these states, and we can incorporate this strategy into the existing and newly established drug treatment rehabilitation centers of Pakistan. Concluding my presentation over here, use of drugs, medicines to get off of drugs is not a good idea, as many experts claim through different articles. Through using this strategy in the new and existing treatment center, we can also improve the quality of treatment center. In Pakistan, we also have an issue of quality of drug treatment rehabilitation center, and it is also one of the factors that most of the people who went into the recovery process, they got relapse. It may also address the relapse factors. All the information which I have included in my presentation is from these references, and it is well organized by using the EndNote which we have.